Hey, Schooler, if you're struggling to get new members in your paid community, then it's probably your About page that's the problem because this is your full-time salesman. And if it can't communicate your genius in a way that people want to pay for it, then you're gonna have to work so much harder creating content. You're gonna have to waste so much time watching YouTube videos and pouring through the Schoolers community to see what they know that you don't, looking for clever ways to get new members, trying to see what's working for everyone but you. Overthinking, overworking, and just getting no further ahead, driving yourself fucking crazy with doubt and fear and imposter syndrome that comes from the uncertainty and the lack of knowing what to do next and where to go. And this is all because no amount of marketing can fix a broken offer. So if you don't know how to communicate the value of your community, then it's going to be very hard to scale to 10K MRR where things get comfy. And we get it. Before we started building cult-like communities, then we spent our 20s running a marketing agency. And that's where we learned the hard way that no amount of creative marketing or ad spend can fix a broken offer, because we spent years burning ourselves out, running campaigns and building funnels and testing ads only to earn the same amount month after month. So we know exactly what it's like to know all the right things, to do all the right things, knowing you have the wisdom and the tools to change lives, but still struggling to get people to actually say yes and take action and pay you. And that's why we stepped back from the marketing world. And we spent the last 7 years studying cults, cult brands, human psychology to see not only what makes people want to buy, but what makes them want to buy in, because marketing changes all the time. But the one thing that never changes is the brain inside the buyer. So if we could figure out how to get them to buy into something, then that'll make them want to pay and want to stay. And we don't have to work so hard attracting new customers every month, right? And so that's how we got into building 6 to 7 figure cult-like communities over the last few years. And what we found is, while you can't make people want to buy, you can make them want to belong. And that's really great news for community creators. Now, the reason most schoolers struggle is because they sell a membership, right? So if you look at the About page, then it's probably just a list of stuff they get inside the community. But the problem is nobody wants to buy more stuff. They don't want to pay for information, and they don't want to join another community that they probably don't have time for. So that's why cult-like communities, they don't sell a membership, they don't sell information, they sell a mission, right? So when Funk Roberts came to us, then he had just shut down his membership because he couldn't get people to want to pay for his fitness programs every month. They weren't engaging, they weren't staying, they weren't paying, they didn't want what he was selling, right? So we had to turn his membership-based offer into a mission-based offer. And when we did that, then he was able to go from $0 to 1.2 million in 18 months. And then there was Diraj. When he came to us, then he was thinking of shutting down his community because he thought he had a marketing problem or a traffic problem, a community problem. He had a problem. He wasn't getting his ads to work. And so he was thinking of shutting it down. And we said, you don't have a marketing problem, you have an offer problem. And so we took his membership-based offer and we turned it into a mission-based offer. And that's when he got 80 new members when he relaunched, and his ad costs dropped to 59 cents per lead. So it just goes to show that you can buy all the traffic in the world and you can post 100 YouTube videos a week, but if your offer isn't attractive to them, then they're just gonna click the red X instead of the golden join button, right? So with a hot offer, then you don't need any fancy marketing or copywriting skills to convince people to join, because with a mission-based offer, then this is where they feel like they belong. So their subconscious is telling them to click that golden join button, right? So if you want to scale your school to 10K MRR one day, then you need an offer that can get you there. So after 7+ years of doing this for others, then we're finally revealing our 3-step tribe method framework for building a mission-based offer by leveraging the laws of tribal belonging. And if your About page is missing one of these 3, then you're probably repelling perfectly good members. And so each one of these laws is designed to get psychological buy-in, right? And so if you don't have buy-in, you don't have buyers. If you don't have buy-in, you don't have retention, you don't have engagement. All of these things come down to their level of buy-in. And that's where we learned that you can actually leverage the tribal psychology inside the brain of the buyer to make them want to pay you. So that's our 3-step tribe method we're going to show you right now to create a mission-based offer. Okay, so the first law of tribal belonging that your offer needs is to speak to a specific identity. So most schoolers try to sell their community to anyone who will buy, right? They cast a wide net because they think that more people means more potential members, more potential revenue. But we know that's not the case. So we do the exact opposite by selling to a specific tribal identity. So we want the right members to know that this is for them, so they're subconsciously bought in before we even ask them to join. So here's why this works so well. Scientists have proven that humans are wired to find and belong to groups of people similar to themselves. And so for thousands of years, anyone who didn't look like us or talk like us or think like us, they were a potential threat to us. And so this tribalism, this tribe psychology is still running in the background in the mind of your buyer, and it's controlling who they buy from and what they buy. So imagine you're at a party and you don't know anyone, and you're standing there feeling super awkward, and then all of a sudden you hear someone speaking in your native language, and you automatically feel this sense of shared similarity that makes you want to go over and talk to that person because you have something in common. And so that's what we want people to feel when they come across our content or our community. If other people look like them and struggle like them and talk like them and think like them, then their subconscious brain is going to be like, this is for us, these are our people, right? So most communities who let anybody in, then they have this random mix of people who don't have this shared sense of similarity, and so they don't have the vulnerability to want to post and engage, right? But the people who do feel that sense of similarity are going to want to join, are going to want to engage, and are going to want to take action, get results, pay and stay for life, right? So you can't build a strong community with the wrong customer. And you can't get the customer, you can't get a paying member if they don't know that this is for them. You can't get their attention, let alone their attraction, if you can't speak to who they are. We need the subconscious brain to say, this is for me. So we speak to one specific tribal identity. Okay, so the second law of tribal belonging that your mission-based offer needs is you need to sell a transformation. So the easiest way to get someone to buy is to sell them something they want, right? And so we know people don't want information, but they do want transformation. But most schoolers think transformation means promising something like lose 10 pounds or make 10K, but everyone else in their niche is promising the same thing. And so why would they choose you? And so that's why cult creators, we don't just define the outcome and the achievement that's possible, but who they become in the process, because there's probably so many ways they can achieve the same result that you promise. But if we give them a new identity to unlock in the process, surrounded by people similar to them, then they're going to buy in for that reason, and there's going to be no one else that can compete on this because this is yours, right? So it's similar to why SoulCycle and CrossFit can charge up to 200% more, because they're not just saying, come get fit, come lose 10 pounds. Like SoulCycle is an almost spiritual experience. So they attract people who are interested in personal and spiritual development, and the fitness is just the byproduct to get there. It's just the journey. And same with CrossFit. It's like you're not just going to lose weight, you're becoming a badass who can handle anything life throws at you, surrounded by people similar to these A-type personalities that want more out of life, right? So it's not just about a certain outcome, it's a personal transformation. And the power is that you're creating a group of people all striving towards this new identity. And it's really identity that sells. Identity holds our actions, our behaviors, our beliefs. If we want someone to take action, we have to give them an identity that aligns with that action. So not only is the transformation a way for you to get somebody to want to buy, the transformation is also a way that you can get people engaged and taking action because it aligns with their identity and because they have a group of people doing like-minded or similar things. And so it reinforces that group identity. And that group identity is what they really are striving for, because they can lose 10 pounds in so many ways. They really want to become that new person, right? And so we have a whole group of people around this new identity, and that's really that special tribe effect that keeps them drinking the Kool-Aid and coming back for more. Now, once somebody is bought in on the tribal identity and the transformation, then the third law of tribal belonging is to sell them a unique plan, right? How do we get you from where you are to where you want to be? So this is what most communities are missing that's causing them to repel new members from their about page and their marketing. Because according to neuroscience, when people hear the same old solution to their problem, their brain literally tunes out because they think, I already know this and I've decided it's not for us. So when they encounter a new approach, then their brain releases dopamine and screams, pay attention, this could be the answer. So sticking with the weight loss fitness example, imagine you're trying to lose 10 pounds and you've tried everything. But some jacked up beauty hits your timeline and he's like, hey, I can help you lose 10 pounds if you join my community where I offer fitness programs and diet plans and a community of like-minded people. And you're like, cool, so can everyone else just like you. So there's no reason to join this community. And then they lose interest and leave. Luckily, you kept scrolling and you found someone that says, forget everything you know about dieting. I'm going to teach you the Japanese warrior method for shredding body fat while you sleep, right? And you're like, wait, what? I don't have to do anything and I can lose weight, and I've never tried or heard of this Japanese warrior method before. So they're like, tell me more, right? you're creating an open loop, and the only way they can solve this open loop is by buying in, right? So by packaging up this content, like even if it's the same as everyone else in your niche, by packaging it up in a unique way, now you're differentiating yourself from everyone else in your niche, and nobody can compete on this because it is your own made up methodology. You already know it works. You got case studies to back up your thing. It's all in how you package and sell it, right? And so not only is this going to give them like the opportunity to get psychological buy-in so they want to explore more about this new method, but this method also bonds your people together in the back end, because this is something no one else is doing, right? This is only something our people do. And so it gives them a sense of status, and it gives them a sense of excitement and pride for being a part of this collective, because they feel like they're on the right side of history. They feel like they've found something that nobody else knows about. And so it's more about that buy-in that you get from the unique methodology. It helps you differentiate, and it helps you keep your members engaged because they're rallying around this methodology that we do together. So these are the 3 laws of tribal belonging that your offer needs to get psychological buy-in, so that people actually want to throw their hard-earned money at you, because you're working with the human nature, not against their human nature. So what this is doing is it's creating a mental map to show them, this is where you are, this is where you want to be, and this is how we get there, right? And so according to social psychologists, this mental map is actually a psychological loophole that can be exploited to influence people to actually buy in. So this is how you can scale to 10K MRR and beyond, because this map becomes your mission that creates psychological buy-in to get members to want to buy. So this is how you know what to say in your marketing to get people over to your about page. This is how you know what to write in your about page and your VSL to actually get buy-in and get members buying in. And this is how you create a community centered around a collective mission that gives you tons of social proof, tons of engagement, and your community can grow from the inside out. So this is how we created a video sales letter for a chiropractic coach that we turned 2,000 ad spend into $125,000. And this is how we helped Funk scale his community up to 80K MRR, where his members were actually wanting to pay this time, and they wanted to buy lifetime access and bragged about being a lifer. They were meeting up offline. They were making real friendships. One guy even got a full arm tattoo because of the real tribal belonging he felt here. And he's now a captain in the community, which he's doing for free, supporting members because it gives them real fulfillment, right? And so Funk even took this and helped another fitness trainer named Rick, who teaches people how to walk, and he's making $107,000 per month. And sometimes he's bored because the foundation is in place to get members engaging and posting. They think he's there all the time supporting them, and he's been off for 6 weeks. So once you have a strong foundation with a mission-based offer and the indoctrination engagement and the retention pieces in place, right? Everything stemmed from a mission-based offer allows you to build something that can scale without you. Okay, so how did you score? Is your offer missing one of these 3 laws of tribal belonging? If that's the case, then there's one of 2 paths you can go. So there's the path that we took, where you fumble fuck forward studying the tribal psychology and learning how to apply it to an online paid community offer until you find that traction. Or you can take the path that we created for you, where you can just steal our proven frameworks for creating a mission-based offer that can actually get you to 10K MRR and beyond, because people actually want to pay and stay, right? So that's the first mission that we're taking Skoolers on, is to create that offer, because you can't grow a strong community with a broken offer, right? So if you're a Skooler with a message to share and the balls to lead, and you want help creating a customer cult that can pay you every day to change lives at scale, then that's what we're doing together in Cult Creators, right? So the first mission we're going on is to create that mission-based offer for you to get new members, right? So that's where you use the tribe map to create that mission-based offer that can get you psychological buy-in. This is how you go from selling a membership to a mission to creating psychological buy-in, so that we can move into the offer. And this is where we implement our about page frameworks and video sales letter frameworks, so that your about page can do what it needs to do to actually get members, the right members, into your community. And then it's about the propaganda, right? This is our Soviet spy strategy. So you can create the right content that finds more of the right members, pushes them to your offer, and gets them into your community. So this is what we're doing first, is creating a mission-based offer and then creating the content strategy to get people into your community. And then once we do that, the second mission is blowing up your engagement, because we need to indoctrinate new members into your community, into the mission, so they know how to behave and belong. And this is the biggest problem that most communities have, is they onboard people into the community to teach them how to use it, where to find content, but they don't teach them how to belong, right? And so that's what the indoctrination sequence, we do this after the onboarding, so that we can actually get them to drink the Kool-Aid, and we can show them how to belong to this community, so they feel the psychological safety to want to post, to want to engage. They become one of us, so they do what we do, which leads us to the rituals. This is how we teach them what it is we do. How do we turn our methodology into rituals so that the content, so the engagement in your community is just automatic every day. All you have to do is show up and nurture and like and comment whenever you feel like it. And this is where they feel like you're always there, because the feed is exploding with engagement, right? And that's how you get a heartbeat on your community, is with the rituals. And this is what makes them feel closer and closer to each other the more they do, because the mirror neurons in their brain, when they see other people like themselves doing the same thing, i.e. your group rituals, then it actually creates an emotional connection between the two people. So rituals are really good for creating emotional bonding that makes people want to engage and keep going and keep paying and progressing and posting. And then we have the milestones. So this is how we convince them to keep going. This is how we incentivize them to actually get results, because we are in the results business, right? If you can't have proof of what you do, if there's no case studies or proof that you're good at what you're doing, then nobody's going to want to join, right? So we need to get them to that final milestone so they actually get results, and you get social proof and referrals that help you grow your business from the inside out. So that's engagement. And then retention, right? If we're going to scale our community to 10K MRR and get paid every day to do what we love with the people we like, then we need them to actually want to keep paying. And that's the whole point with buy-in. We don't want them to buy once, we want them to buy in for life, right? And so this is where we need to make it so that they never want to leave. This is how we intensify their emotional connection to the tribe. So it starts with our similarity systems to create that us versus them mentality, so that they feel like they're a part of something they can't find anywhere else. And then we have significant systems. And so that makes them feel seen and heard and valued for the work and the progress they're putting in. So they want to continue to progress and post and pay. And then we have status systems. And this is how we get them deeper entrenched into our tribe, into our community, so that they have essentially more places to strive towards. And therefore we are increasing the amount of months they're likely to pay. But as they increase status, they actually have more to lose by canceling. So that's how we get them deeply entrenched into this tribe and embodying the collective identity, so that if they cancel, they don't just lose access to content, they don't just lose access to the collective, they lose a piece of themselves. And so that's essentially the cult creator model that we're doing in these 3 missions, because retention and engagement, they don't really matter unless you have members and you know how to get members, right? So it all starts with the mission-based offer, and that's what we're doing in Cult Creators School. So this is how cult creators are building something worth belonging to, so we don't have to work so hard chasing new members all the time. And so we typically charge $5,000 to do this for coaches and community creators just building their mission-based offer. We've also taken anywhere from 10 to 40% to of top line revenue to build these cult-like communities and manage them. But now we have to walk our own talk and build our own community, right? So we are helping schoolers who have a mission and a message to share and the balls to lead, who want to build something worth belonging to, so you can get paid every day to change lives at scale. And it all starts with creating that mission-based offer. So for the first 20 people, then we are offering this at only $69. And that's where we can get started immediately building out your offer that'll get your next paying member. And to speed that up, the first 20 people are also going to get a free brainstorming call with us, so we can actually expedite that offer creation, because we know how hard it is to read the label from outside the bottle. You're just too close to your own stuff. So it's really hard to do this without external guidance. And so those first 20 people are going to get a free hour with us to nail that mission-based offer. And then we're also going to send you a free cult creator goodie bag in the mail, which is going to help you unlock the identity and the beliefs and the behaviors that it's going to take to actually create that scalable community that people want to belong to. So if you're tired of spinning your wheels every day trying to figure out how to make this work, and you just want to get paid every day to change lives at scale and do what you love with the people you like, then smash that golden join button to join the Cult Creators School. Because if you have a proven method to help people, then it's your job to get them out of their own way to get that result. And that's why we can't rely on just good content or coaching slots to change lives, because people suck at doing what's good for them. So we need to leverage their deep tribal programming to get them out of their own way so they actually buy in and take action and get results. So if you're willing to lead people to greatness and you're ready to get paid well for it, then smash that golden button and let's start creating the offer that will get you to 10K MRR and beyond. All right, we'll see you on the inside.